All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about something pretty fascinating. This huge trend of people leaving the big, noisy cities for the quiet life in the countryside. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But what actually happens when the city moves into the village? Let's get into it.
I mean, come on, who hasn't had that fantasy? You're stuck in traffic, and all you can think about is trading those car horns for, I don't know, bird song? It's this really powerful idea, right? The Great Escape. But here's the thing. For thousands of people, it's not just a dream anymore. It's becoming a reality, and that's creating some massive changes.
So to really get a handle on this, let's look at a perfect example. Southeast England. Why there? Well, it's right on London's doorstep, so it's feeling this pressure more than almost anywhere else. You've got tons of people who work in the capital deciding to live out in the country and just commute in. And this whole influx, well, it's a real double-edged sword. It's bringing some amazing benefits, but also some really serious problems.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the good stuff, the bright side, right? On the face of it, a bunch of new people moving into a small village, that seems like a total win. But is it really kicking off some kind of rural renaissance? Let's see.
Yeah, the economic argument is a really big one. I mean, think about it. A growing population can literally breathe new life into a community. It can help support everything from the local pub to the little primary school. This new demand can be the one thing that keeps a high street thriving instead of full of boarded-up shops. And on top of that, new residents often bring new money and new construction projects, which means more jobs right there in the heart of the community.
And there's a big people-focused angle to this too. For decades, rural areas have had this thing called a brain drain, where all the young people leave for the cities to find jobs and opportunities. Well, when new folks move in, especially families, it can actually start to reverse that trend. It helps keep these communities vibrant and stops them from, slowly turning into ghost towns.
Okay, but it's not quite that simple. Here's where things get complicated. You'd think more people would automatically mean a booming local economy, right? But the reality can be the total opposite. A lot of these commuters find it way more convenient to just stop at a big supermarket near their office in the city, so they end up completely bypassing the very local shops that everyone thought would get this huge boost from them moving in.
All right, so now we have to look at the other side of the coin. Because for all those potential upsides, this kind of rapid growth definitely comes with a price tag. It creates some pretty significant challenges for the people who've called these places home for, generations.
And this is where it really hits home for the original community. The pressure can be immense. You've got newcomers, often with higher salaries from their city jobs, and they start driving up house prices like crazy. Suddenly, local people, especially the younger generation, can't even afford to buy a home in the village they grew up in. And think about this. As more new residents rely on their cars, what happens to the local bus services? They often get cut, which can really isolate older residents or anyone without their own car. Plus, when farmland gets sold off to build new houses, those traditional farming jobs, they can disappear for good.
And it's not just about the money. There's a really deep social impact here, too. A sudden flood of outsiders can totally change the culture and just the feel of a place. And that can lead to resentment. That classic us versus them mentality starts to creep in. You see tensions bubble up over things like new modern housing developments that locals feel just don't fit the traditional character of their village. And here's another interesting twist in the demographics. It's not just young families moving out to the country. A lot of the newcomers are actually retirees who are looking for a more peaceful lifestyle. And while that can definitely enrich a community, it also has the effect of raising the average age of the population. That puts a whole new set of pressures on local services, especially things like healthcare.
So after all that, where do we land? We've basically seen a story with two completely different sides, haven't we? It's a tale of revival and resentment, of progress and, well, the price you pay for it. Let's try and pull it all together.
So as you can see, the picture is it's really complex. On the one hand, you've got this amazing potential for a boosted economy and a fix for that outward migration problem. But the downside is huge. A social fabric that gets strained, house prices that go through the roof, and cuts to really essential services. It is a genuine dilemma, and there are absolutely no easy answers.
At the end of the day, this is really the heart of the matter. The challenge isn't about stopping people from moving to the countryside. I mean, you can't do that. It's about figuring out how to manage that growth. How do you do it in a way that lets a community get all the economic benefits without completely sacrificing its identity and pushing out its own people in the process? It's an incredibly delicate balancing act.
Which leaves us with this one really important question to think about. As our towns and our villages continue to change,
How can they grow without losing their soul? How can they possibly embrace the future while still honoring their past? It's a tough one, and it's something worth pondering. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.